Hey you guys, it is Rashni bringing you light and laughter per usual. It's Friday, so it's time for some light. Let's do it. So it's Find Your Light Friday, and as you all may know, there's a smudge on my glasses. I put up funny videos during the week, and I tend to put up my inspirational videos on Friday. And in the past, I've done a few longer talking to the camera videos, like this one, with the mic hooked up. Hello, better quality. And you guys seem to enjoy them, so I'm going to do one of those right now. It is actually Thursday when I'm filming this, and my son is technically starting spring break. Thank you, Jesus. Virtual school, the whole shebang. However, he does have a couple computer assignments he needs to finish up on, so I might not be fully on spring break yet, but it is the beginning of that. Anywho, this week has been full of things we can talk about, but I thought it would be fun to talk about the whole situation with Mr. Kirk Franklin and his son and this recorded phone call. Full disclosure, I already made a video about this earlier this week. Went live in my coaching community, Find Your Light. I'll put a link to it where the links exist. So if you want to see me sleepy, less put together because daylight savings took me all the way out, okay, and interacting with the beautiful women in my group, we're 700 plus strong, then join the group and you can see that. This is the more curated, okay, y'all see all this hand, listen, hey, version of the thing. So anyway, let's do it, and then let's roll out. Earlier this week, or I guess it was last weekend maybe, I don't know when, recently, legend, music star, producer, all the things in gospel music, Kirk Franklin was recorded by his older son, cussing him out. So Kirk Franklin's son was on the phone with Kirk, and imagine if you have your phone like this and you take another phone and you record your phone on speaker, and on the phone was Kirk, Melodies from Heaven Franklin, licking big bad word, Pondy man boxhoid. Okay, he was cursing him out. Now, I found out about this because I saw people talking about it. I also saw that Kirk was trending on Twitter, and I was like, what? But I didn't have time to check on it yet. I just skimmed and made sure he was alive. And then I went about my business. So probably like later that day, or maybe even the other day, if I'm being honest, because I'm not always one to be up on everything. I got other stuff to do. Hello? Ain't nobody got time to be keeping track of all this stuff. Hello? Anyway. So I finally got wind to the actual video that his son posted. I listened to some of it. I did not listen to all of it. I do not have full context. So if you are going to come in the comments after I tell you that I don't have full context, nor do I need full context for what I'm about to say, I don't know what to tell you. Reading/listening is fundamental. I'm just commenting on a very specific part. So what I saw was a father cussing out his son on the phone, and the son feeling the need to record it, and the son feeling the need to post it up on Al Gore's internet. I'm assuming to put his father on blast. I mean, why else would you do that? I don't know. He only knows why he did it. And I also know that the father is a celebrity and a musician, and specifically in the Christian community, where the expectation is that behavior is not that. That's what I know. Okay, so great, it's gonna start raining. If you hear a noise, it's because it's raining. So listen, so these are my thoughts on the whole Kirk Franklin thing. All week long, the majority of what I have seen posted online was actually support for Kirk. I've seen all the memes, I've seen all the posts. Basically, the Christian community rallied around Kirk Franklin, and the general majority sentiment, not everybody, but the majority sentiment that I saw was, listen, these kids be provoking you to wrath. Okay, sometimes you have to cuss somebody out to get them to understand this thing, right? Also, I believe a day or so later, I did see Kirk Franklin posted a video because I follow him on Instagram, and he basically told us context, told us that he also got the therapist on the phone, but his son had not recorded or shared that part of the call, and apologized to us for, I don't remember exactly his words, I'm not going to say that, but he apologized to us. When I saw that thing from Kirk, I thought to myself, why is he apologizing to us? He cussed out his son. Why not apologize to his son? That's what I thought. Okay, that's what Rushni thought. No, that's not what you thought. I didn't say that's what you thought. Remember, listening is fundamental. Okay. So anyway, now fast forward. My thoughts on the whole thing are this. That's a mess, and we need to pray. What we're seeing in front of our eyes is something that prayerfully could have happened behind closed doors as a private family matter, but his son decided to bring it out in the open. Probably because he's like, y'all don't understand. My father isn't who y'all think he is. You could imagine, which kind of seems kind of immature to me, but whatever. Sometimes that's a rough place to be in, where everybody thinks your parent is one thing and you're experiencing them as something totally different. And ain't nobody gonna sit here and tell me that they have never had or know somebody who has an experience where their parent is being lauded in front of the masses as this wonderful human being, and then when you close the door, come see me and come live with me, is two different things. And so I'm assuming that that was the intention of Kirk's son. It seems that way, because why else would somebody do that? Like, it don't make no sense. Okay. So on the other hand, I saw support for Kirk. I feel like I'm all over the place, but let me get it together. I saw a lot of people supporting Kirk online, and I thought, I get it. Listen, people can be frustrating. These kids could be frustrating. Now, mind you, I personally don't have the experience of my son being frustrating, but he's 8 and he has developmental delays and he's kind of awesome. So I've never felt like cussing out Zion, right? And like I said, he's 8. I don't know, right? So but I know that people have that experience where they feel like deregulating all over their kid because they feel like they've been pushed to it. However, I also thought to myself, if Kirk is in his 50s and his son is in his 30s, that means that the broken Kirk that he has always told us about participated in the raising of this human, this 30-something-year-old person. Kirk is not responsible for the choices of a 30-year-old grown man. Let me say that again, because somebody gonna say to me in the comments, because listening is fundamental. Kirk Franklin is not responsible for the choices of a 30-year-old grown man who is his son. One more time for the people in the back who had the sound off. Kirk isn't responsible for the raggedy choices of his 30-year-old son. However, Kirk grew him, right? And contributed to who he is as a man. And Kirk has told us about his story of brokenness over the years, as well as Kirk is displaying his brokenness now on this phone call. So it's kind of hard for me to fully be like, oopsie, sometimes you gotta cuss a kid out, sometimes you gotta cuss a kid out. I can't really land entirely on that side, even though I get it. Like, listen, ain't nobody saying nothing about the cussing. No, I put a post on my page specifically about the cussing, because listen, the saints be cussing, okay? Y'all think it's all sweet pineapple over here. It is not. There's a kick to this pineapple, okay? And we gonna leave it at that. The coaching group got more than that, but there's a kick to the pineapple. So no judgment to what flies out of your mouth. Keep it real in these streets. Sometimes it be flying out. However, if you guys ever see me in real life or on Al Gore's internet of my own volition putting up a video, or my son putting up a video now or in the future of me licking big bad words underneath him like that, Somebody come get me. Somebody come get him. Somebody do something, because we still have not mastered ourselves, our relationship, our communication, our ability to self-soothe and regulate. And I'm still being traumatic in my speech and destructive as a parent in my example. I said what I said. Now here's the thing. That doesn't go in alignment with all the things I've seen online, which has been majority, like we ain't canceling Kirk. And listen, like I said in my coaching group, I love a good laugh. I love a good meme. I saw my favorite one that I saw out of all of them was we ain't canceling Kirk, and that's on Now Behold the Lamb. So listen, I laughed at the memes with y'all, but at the same time, if you've been on my page, if you've been in my Instagram, if you've been on my YouTube, if you followed me for like 2 hot seconds, you realize that there's light and there's laughter, right? And when it comes to the light, I gotta be true to what rings properly for me in my spirit. And a parent cussing out their child is a example, it's a symptom, it's a manifestation of what their relationship has always been. And you're not going to tell me that's the first or last time he has deregulated like that on that person. So you're not going to tell me that if your mama and your daddy has been cussing you out and or speaking to you with that spirit behind it for all of your years, through your adulthood and your younger years, that you might not be screwed up in the head too. I don't know what's wrong with Kirk's son. I don't know what he was doing. Somebody came later on and told me that the word on the street was that he was asking for money again. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just talking about a daddy cussing out his kid. And these things hit different when it's from your parent. So none of us understand the experience of Kirk cussing us out. And even if Kirk called me right now and cussed me out, Kirk is a stranger whose music I listen to. The worst thing he's gonna do is make me not want to hear his music anymore or feel slightly triggered when I hear his music online. He ain't my daddy though. Okay? And if he was cussing me like that, and my experience of him had been some version of that over the years, to the point that I needed somebody to believe me enough to post something on the internet like that, which is not the way you do it, sir. If you catch one of this video, that's not it. Remember the therapist your dad said he called? I need both of y'all to just call the therapist. Stop posting up your family business like that up on the internet. Call the therapist, work it out, take it to the therapist, take it to Jesus, take it in your prayer closet. Okay, take it to a trusted friend and confidant. Me, this stranger in Missouri, I should not know. That's bad communication skill. It's bad relationship skill. Okay? So anyway, hopefully I made sense. Feel like this was all over the place, but that's just kind of what I wanted to get out of my mind. I also feel like we make it unsafe for people to tell us their truth because it doesn't ring true to us. Sorry, I was just trying to get a thought and it was like stuck. When black people try to tell white people what their experience is like, oftentimes white people will say stuff like, well, it's a context. You know, you're taking that out of context and we don't really know everything that was going on. And let's just wait till we get all the information before we, jump to any conclusions. But then when a child or a son tries to tell us that their father is a certain way, we say the same thing. Well, we don't know the context. And, sometimes they really aggravate you and you kind of have to go off on them. And, let's wait till we get all the information. And in my mind, ultimately, and in closing, I feel like both of them were a mess. The son was in error. The father was in error. It was a whole big error all around, and hopefully they can get their relationship to a point of healing internally in both of them so that healing can come across to each other, and the apologies and the love and the restoration and the corrective experiences can be to each other and not to us. Like, we don't have to be in it. And that's my hope for all of us. Because none of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. We are all growing, learning to master ourselves, working out our soul salvation with what? Fear and trembling. And with that, I'm going to go and see if spring break is actually a thing that's about to start, or if I have another virtual assignment to do. You create the most incredible rest of your day. Be intentional, create your joy, and be encouraged. And I will see you in the next video. Oh, let me see. Oh, I can't reach it without knocking y'all down, so we're just gonna do this. Be well. Oh, here's one. Here's a pineapple. Be sure to check out the links